Magandang araw mga kaibigan. Gusto kong i-share sa inyo ang isang international news sa India ito, Wayon. Pinadala sa akin ang video nito ng aking kaibigan researcher. Salamat, Eudora. Sikat na po ang ating Vice Presidente sa buong mundo. Ito, India ito. 2 days ago, may vlogger from London na headlines daw sa BBC. BP Sara, yung mga tirada niya kay Pangulong Marcos Jr. Ito rin sa India, Wayon. Pakinggan natin. Napakaganda itong pagbabalita ng Wayon. Very patas ang pagbabalita nila.
News now from the Philippines, where the Vice President and President are at loggerheads and things seem to be getting uglier with each passing day. In a rather extreme step, Vice President Sara Duterte threatened to have President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. killed if she herself were to be killed. Let that sink in.
Sabi ko sa inyo, napakapatas ang balita nitong Wayon kasi kinompleto nila yung context. Vice President Sara threatens to kill the President if she herself will be killed. Yun ang kompleto. Mayroong if.
And following this, security agencies in the country raised safety measures and dubbed it a national concern. And what's more, on Monday, the president vowed to fight back against what he called reckless and troubling threats. Let's break it all down for you. Speaking during a morning press briefing, Duterte reportedly said that she had spoken to an assassin and instructed him to kill the president, his wife, and the House of Representatives Speaker if she were to be killed first. Before making what is being called a brazen threat in a broadcast on her official Facebook page, Duterte said, and I'm quoting here, "This country is going to hell because we are led by a person who does not know how to be a president and who is a liar," quote unquote. Not just that, she warned that her alleged threats are no joke. And now, in response to this, the president of the Philippines has reportedly said that he will fight the vice president's criminal plot to have him killed, quote unquote. Reports suggesting the national police and the military immediately boosted the security of the president in a matter which is now being considered a national security concern. The law and order authorities in the Philippines are now investigating the matter closely, which could have consequences for the vice president if proven true, involving prosecution if Duterte's claims are found to be evidence-backed.
It's worrying, the statements that we heard from the past days. There are numerous expletives and threats and plans to assassinate some of us.
But how exactly did things even reach this point? How did they get this far? According to reports, Duterte, who is the daughter of the country's former president, Rodrigo Duterte, had previously accused President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. of incompetence. Not just that, Duterte had also said that she imagined killing the president using violent measures. This marks a widening rift between the two most powerful political families in the country. In fact, in June, Duterte resigned from the Marcos cabinet while still remaining the vice president. Reports suggest Sara Duterte and Ferdinand Marcos Jr. are at odds over foreign policy as well as former President Rodrigo Duterte's war on drugs. Over the years, the two leaders had a bitter falling out over key differences, which also includes their approaches to China's aggressive actions in the South China Sea. However, tensions between the two escalated after the House members, allied with House Speaker Martin Romualdez and Marcos, decided to detain her chief of staff, Zuleika Lopez. And why is that? Because Lopez was reportedly accused of hampering a congressional inquiry into the possible misuse of Duterte's budget as vice president and education secretary. Following this, Romualdez slashed the vice presidential office's budget by nearly 2/3. and the estranged Vice President Duterte went all guns blazing, targeting Marcos, his wife, and the House Speaker reportedly. That's not all. Duterte even hinted at an unspecified plot allegedly made to kill her. Under Philippine law, such public remarks may constitute a crime of threatening to inflict a wrong on a person or their family and are punishable by a jail term and fine. At this point, it won't be an exaggeration to say that Philippines is currently facing a national crisis in line with its political crisis. And now as the country is gearing up for midterm elections in May 2025, which is increasingly being seen as a litmus test for the president's popularity and a chance for him to consolidate power, what lies ahead for the people of the country is the question. To stay up to speed with the latest news,
What lies ahead of the people of the Philippines? Yun ang tanong. So, the Philippines is in a crisis. Political crisis po tayo ngayon. Yun nga, laman tayo sa pahayagan, balita sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo. At negative po ang dating. So, sino ang talunan sa mga pangyayaring ito? Hindi po sila, itong mga political leaders natin. Ang kawawa dito ay ang taong nasa laylayan. Dahil itong mga pangyayaring ito, lalong magbibigay ng impression, ng image sa buong bansa na magulo tayo. Sa mga global crime index, ano pa yung mga world report, number 1 ng Pilipinas na pinaka-risky, magulo, tapos dadagdagan pa ng ganitong balita, ay lalong atras yung mga investor. O ang ating presidente ngayon, nandun sa United Arab Emirates. Again, as usual, para maghikayat ng mamumuhunan. So, sinong matinong investor na mamuhunan sa ating bansa with this mga pangyayari? So, bakit nagsimula ito? Ang ganda ng simula, ang ganda ng samahan. Di ba? Nung eleksyon, ang dami nating umasa. More than 30 million Filipinos ang umasa sa UNITEAM. Bayan, babangon muli. Ito na ngayon, instead na babangon tayo, pababa. Going to hell. Bakit nagkakaganito? It's all about politics. Kung hindi sana nasobrahan ng politiko, hindi sana magkakaganito eh. Si BP Inday Sara, for the first 2 years, nananahimik lang. Nung simulan nila yung political agenda, sunod-sunod na panggigipit sa mga Duterte, kaya ito, nagkakaganito na tayo. Kaya, ito, survival mode na ang mga Duterte, kaya ang Vice Presidente, fighting back. Sa nakikita ko kay BP Inday Sara, hindi niya na iniisip yung political career niya 2028. Basta ang kanya lang is lumaban, survive. She does not care. Kasi kung gusto pa niyang magpresidente, bakit hintayin pa niya ng 2020? Pwede man siyang manalo ng 2022. O sino bang malakas na mga kandidato noon? Wala nang iba kundi si then Mayor Inday Sara. BBM malayo. O sinong lumapit? Sinong nilapitan? Klaro, ang lumapit Marcos family. Humingi ng tulong. Hindi daw sila mananalo kung hindi sila tulungan ng mga Duterte. O ngayon, tumulong ng Duterte, lalo na si BP Inday Sara, pumayag siya na maging Vice President. ng Pangulo ng candidate BBM sa kondisyon ng continuity para maipagpatuloy yung mga magagandang nasimulan ni PRRD. Asa na ngayon ang continuity? Sinisira na. So, nakakapanghinayang. So, kailan kaya matatapos itong sigalot na ito? I don't know. Ipagdasal na lang po natin ang ating bansa.